In Swahili, they're known as Watu wa Mashimo, the people who live in caves. Their existence is little more than a rumour, really. To those in Kenya's major towns, it seems unbelievable that anyone would choose to live inside a rock, rather than in a building, or at worst, a shack or tent. We set out to track them down to see if the rumours about them are true. It was no easy task. Our team climbed mountain after mountain, searching, scouring the harsh former volcanic outcrop for hours, with no luck. Finally, we come across Joseph. Armed with a panga, he agrees to take us to his former home.
At first, we tried to farm here, but the monkeys attacked our crops, so we switched to burning charcoal. That's how we made money. This was the cave we used to live in.
The tiny cave is made up of two areas, one for sleeping, the other for cooking. Joseph tells us he moved his wife and children here after they were kicked off land in a town nearby.
This is where we used to sleep, and it was very comfortable. Because we were never rained on, everyone had a blanket, so we rarely felt cold. The other person would sleep under my feet. Our food was stored in the other part of the cave, and we would store our clothes here. There were snakes sometimes at the back, and so we would light a fire for about 2 days before moving in. Let the cave fill with smoke to chase away the snakes.
Then a mysterious skin disease started affecting his children. He moved them away.
This is the waste product and fur of the animals that cause the skin disease. This soil contains fleas from those animals, and when it bites, it can lead to a serious wound and even blindness. There is no medicine for this disease. It just heals by itself, but sometimes it can lead to death. The other day, one of us died.
He and a friend continued to live there.
This is where we used to cook our food. When the food was ready, we kept it here with any other leftovers. Then we'd leave this place and sleep in the other part of the cave. Then you'd go for work out there in the forest, cutting down trees and burning charcoal in order to put food on the table.
Joseph says he earns roughly $30 a month selling charcoal.
When the charcoal is ready, we give it to someone who goes to sell it. It takes around 4 days, and when he comes back, he brings flour for us.
Joseph and his friend lived inside this cave for about 15 years. He's now moved to a tent in a valley nearby to join his family, but tells us that inside these hills there are about 500 people living in caves, surviving just as he did. We continue our search. Joseph takes us to his neighbor's cave, but they're not there either. He believes the skin disease may have caused a lot of people in the area to leave. Joseph tells us that the next group of Watu wa Mashimo, or people who live in caves, are located a few hours' walk from here. Now, we've already been walking more than 3 hours today, so we're probably going to have to leave it there and continue this search another day. But on our way back, we come across Wilson, a young man who's converted 2 boulders side by side into a cave of sorts using plastic. He lives alone.
These are blankets, and in this bag is where I keep my stuff. I dropped out of school because I don't know how to read and write, but I have a Bible. There are a lot of problems in this forest, especially with this animal that's spreading the skin disease. We have been facing a lot of challenges, and going up the hills and down the valleys daily is sometimes tiring. But we don't give up easily because we have a life to live.
A life of steep hills, tracking wild animals for food, and smoking out unwanted guests with fire. A life of cold nights and hard, long hours of work during the day. But it's one these young men say they would miss if they had to live anywhere else. Robin Creel in the Great Rift Valley, Kenya.